Oh, we are loving today's show. There is a certain momentum that is dragging me along, and it's a very positive thing. This is where the world is right now. In a world filled with abundance, it is devastating that 1 in 5 South African children go to school hungry every school day, and that might be a conservative estimate. As a result, malnutrition levels are high, which is why for nearly a decade, Kellogg's has been actively fighting hunger and working towards creating better days for our children, because it starts in the belly. And here to tell us more about their Better Days promise is Corporate Affairs Director Zandile Mposelwa. Zandile, welcome. Thank you for bringing your Kellogg's A game this morning. I love it. Your brand deliverers are all like, yes, girl, you got it. I love the sound of better days. For me, when it comes to children, they deserve better days. They need better days. When you take in the numbers, how soul-destroying that can be, it is so good to see a positive pushback in this critical space. For me, young children especially, ECDs all the way. Where did this Better Days promise stem from? Because this speaks to more than just a marketing campaign or a CSI initiative. There's DNA woven into this.
Absolutely. It's rooted to our purpose as the organization, because our purpose is to create better days and the table for everyone. And W.K. Kellogg, when he started Kellogg many years ago, and his premise was that you can do business as you do good.
Yeah.
And for us, it's about doing good for communities. And in South Africa, where we are faced with so many challenges, and for us to be able to say, on a school day, we have enabled a child, it's something that is humbling for all of us at Kellogg.
Because it's where it all begins. And I love the fact that the love of a mother, the love of a father, the love of a brother or a sister, these are conversations that transcend. Yeah. You're no longer talking to a community, a socio-economic bracket. You're talking to individuals at a critical gateway in their life. Children need to know, need to be respected, and need to be loved to know that that's what they are worth. And this just proves that on a base level. How does it work? How do you action this wonderful emotional idea?
So we work with the Department of Education, and we also partner with Food Forward South Africa that takes the food to the children, to the schools. And they help us identify where the need is. And every school day, over 30,500 children get breakfast from us. And for us, it's not about the food. It's about the fact that the child is going to have a full tummy and they're going to learn that day. So that is what it's all about. And I've been to schools, Graham, where at the beginning of the school day, there's this teamwork that is happening. Other children go to get milk, others go get, you know, the bowls get together, the teacher comes and serves the children in class. And the research tells us that those encourage good behaviors because that connection. And they're not standing in the queue outside for food. They're sitting in class.
Sure. Not this.
No.
Exactly.
They're sitting in class.
Exactly.
They're eating. And afterwards, another one gets up to collect the dishes. The other one comes up. You know, they wash the dishes. They're ready to start their day. And I think for me, more than anything, the principals, without being asked, they write and tell us that their attendance rate has gone up because children know that there is food at school. They get to school on time because they know that breakfast is served between a certain period of time.
It's that important, yeah.
And we've helped mom not to think about at least one meal for that day.
And to put it in perspective, I think these are good opportunities to understand privilege. So imagine if the biggest thing in your day, the most important thing was trying to figure out how am I going to get one meal together this day for my child. And that's your dominant thought. Yeah. It's a terrifying place to be in. And I think a lot of people touched that space during COVID. Yeah. But you guys have almost reached a maturity now. You've always been that breakfast brand that does more, that pretty much is breakfast in South Africa or across the world. But now there seems to be this authenticity about owning your place in the market. How do you get that right? What else are you doing to make sure that there are better days? You seem to have just nailed that. Does it come from the heart? Does it come from your leadership? Does it come from the playbook that you work from? Where does this heart and this purpose come from?
Earlier on, I spoke about our purpose. It's rooted in our purpose at Kellogg. I think about during COVID, where our colleagues at the factory would call me and say, Zandi, do you need more food for communities in need? So all of us, we want to do our best. And earlier on, you mentioned privilege. I remember when I was still in school, I would see these children go up the tree to pick up peaches.
Yeah.
I thought they were naughty. And now, working for Kellogg, got to understand that it was hunger. And for us to be able to say we're making a difference is very humbling. And to be able to say and sit in 2023 and say that we've donated over 51 million meals.
Wow.
Is something, again, that is humbling, that we have helped. There's still a whole lot more to be done because food insecurity is still a huge issue in South Africa and around the world. That is why Kellogg globally has committed to creating 3 billion better days by 2030 around the world. And this is through various initiatives that we, the organization is supporting around the world.
Yeah, and in your brand promise, I think you have to. Now you've painted yourself into that corner, you've got to live it, and you do.
We're
and
proud
you deliver.
of it.
And just to put it in perspective, there are around 60 million people in South Africa. If you fed 51 million of them, you're doing a pretty good job. The bottom line is, I think food insecurity speaks to a social development, a very complex situation that has pretty much one answer. That's this notion of one welfare. If we don't develop our market, we're not going to have a market. If we don't empower the people that we are serving, we won't have a market. And I love the fact that we've reached that point. So thank you for delivering and putting
Just a correction, Graham. We've donated 51 million meals, not necessarily 50 people. Yeah, just for correction. But it is quite humbling. And thank you for your time.
It's an amazing achievement. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that we are only just getting started. With brands like this paving the way, we are going to see action on a whole different level with an unwavering commitment to fighting hunger and creating positive change, tangible change. We can lead the charge in creating a world where no one goes hungry. And by providing sustainable, equitable access to food, we have the power to make a difference in the lives of millions, one meal at a time, because that's how it works. So in celebration of 100 years of hashtag nourishing great starts, Kellogg's are giving you guys the chance to win your share of 1 million rand in cash. That's how you give back. Simply buy any 2 of their qualifying products and dial *120*2447#, then follow the easy prompts and enter the last 4 digits of your barcode. South Africans stand a chance to win up until the end of October, but you can find all those T's and C's that apply on kelloggs.co.za. Just go out there and feed a child, please. Thank you, Kellogg's.
Thank you.
From a box full of goodness to a breakfast that keeps a nation going, here's to 100 years of nourishing great starts.